Hey guys, how's it going? It's Captain ThirdGen here, and we got my V6 Firebird back. It's out of winter storage, and it's getting ready to do some racing now. As you can see by my helmet here, we're getting a little more serious with it this year. The only problem is I don't fit in my car with the helmet on. So we're going to be trying to put a racing seat in the Firebird to hopefully lower me so that I fit with my helmet. So I'm going to demonstrate here what the issue is that I'm having with the stock seat. So here I have a factory cloth seat. It is a power seat, and this is a base model seat, nothing fancy, no adjustable lumbar like the Trans Ams have or anything like that. And so we're gonna videotape me getting in and out of here, and it's probably gonna be kind of funny. So let's get to that. All right, guys, we're gonna try to get in the car here. So this is where I gotta be really careful. Okay, so I'm in, and I shut the door, and there, I'm tight against the ceiling here. Unfortunately, this is as low as the seat goes, and if I recline any further back, I begin to have issues reaching things. So, yeah, we are touching the ceiling right now. The good news is, well, there's no good news, actually. It's all bad news. But I have purchased a racing seat, so we're going to see how good that bolts into this car, and most importantly, if I can fit in the car with the good old helmet on. Alright guys, so here's my Corbeau seat. This is a Corbeau Forza seat, and this is the wide version. And it says that it fits up to a 42-inch waist. I am right at a 42-inch waist, and I still think that I fit in here pretty comfortably. So if you have a 42-inch waist, it's a pretty good chance that you're going to fit in here okay. I got this from the WS6 store, and it was a little cheaper listed there than at other websites, so I definitely recommend shopping through them. But just the basic Corbeau seat here, fixed back, no reclining. And the cool thing is this cushion here is actually removable. So when you go to the racetrack, if you're too tall, you can take the cushion out to get some more room here because it's just held in by Velcro. So that's kind of cool. But this is about the cheapest racing seat you can get that is a somewhat name brand and has measurements online and everything. I got this for $300, and how I intend to install it is this Wedge Engineering bracket. So I'm going to open this up and we'll see what we're working with here, but we'll see how that goes. I have opened the box for the Wedge Engineering bracket, and this is how it is right out of the box here. It comes with its own little hardware, so that's cool. Pretty sturdy piece, looks to be steel. So we'll see here. I did not get the slider version because I was looking for maximum headroom, and they said that the sliding version of this added an inch of height, which I did not want. So we're going to hope for the best and try to get this hooked up to the new seat here, and we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, so the seat comes with these little rubber or plastic grommet things that fit over the bolt holes, and I just pulled them off with a set of pliers, so there's 4 of them. Then we should be able to line these holes up with these holes here and put the supplied Wedge Engineering bolts onto the seat, and then it should be done. Well guys, I made kind of a blunder there. These the Corbeau seat itself actually comes with its own bolts, so that's not a problem. You can't really tell because they're all painted, but this is actually a bolt, so I'm going to remove these and then put it onto the bracket there. Alright guys, so far the Corbeau seat and the Wedge Engineering bracket appear to be playing nicely together here. All the holes lined up. I used the Corbeau bolts that came with the seat, and so far everything lined up, screwed in really easily, so I think this is ready to be bolted in the car. So now let's focus our attention on getting the stock seat out. So that's how it went. I took the 2 Phillips screws out, got the 2 front covers up, and there's the nut right there. And it's not even rusty, which is fantastic, because I took the seat out of a 3rd-gen Trans Am one time, and it was not a fun situation. So I'm glad they put them covers on there, because it is really nice and clean. So that's going to be good. So I'm going to scooch the seat up here with the power adjustment, and then we'll have easier access to these rear covers. So I got the 2 bolts in the front out. Those were 13 millimeter. And I use this here ratcheting combo wrench. Highly recommend these. These are very helpful for doing a variety of projects. Then I scooch the seat all the way forward, and now we have, you know, relatively easy access to these rear covers. I can actually see the nut. Let's see if I can get the camera in there. I'm just going to flip it upside down. But I think it'd just be easier if I take the covers off. And then there's the power connector there. Oh, sorry. There's the connector. I'll have to pop that off, and then the seat should be ready to come out once I get this seatbelt thing taken care of. All right, guys. Well, on second thought, I took the screw out for the cover here, and it doesn't really want to come off still, so it must be something holding it on there. So I'm just going to try to snake that ratcheting combo ended wrench over that bolt and try to get it out of there. I think I'm probably going to do the same thing on that side too. All right, so I've gotten 3 of the 4 mounting bolts off. This one is like really crusted, and it was rounded before I even started, so I think somebody's had this seat out before. So I'm still kind of experimenting here with how I want to go about getting this one out. So yeah, I'll update you guys on how that's going. So I shot that bolt there with some PB Blaster penetrating oil. Probably going to regret that, because now the inside of my car is going to smell like PB Blaster for eternity, but kind of running out of options here. It's such a tight space, I can't get a normal ratchet on it, unfortunately. So I guess it is what it is. Guys, crisis averted. So what I did was I raised the seat using the raising control there, and then I was able to get a nice 6-point ratchet on there. And I think I bent this little thing kind of beyond the point of repair, but I don't really care because it's just a stupid plastic piece. The seat itself still mint, so if I ever reinstalled it, I really wouldn't care about this piece here. But yeah, crisis averted, the bolt's loosening, all is well in the realm of Captain 3rd-gen. Guys, so all I did was I pushed my thumb on the little hole there and gently pulled the connector apart. It came right apart, no problem. So now the only thing holding the seat in the car is this seat belt loop, I guess, and there's just 2 Phillips screws holding that on. So once that's off, the seat should be able to come out of the car. Fellas, check it out. We got the stock seat out. So all I did was the 4 bottom bolts, which can be seen here. They're 13 millimeter. I did a ratcheting combo wrench for this one, that one, and this one, and then I used a real hex head ratchet for this one, because this one, as you can see on the floor, is really rusty. The rest of them were actually surprisingly clean, but you know, you still got 20 years of debris under here. Oh, it doesn't actually look that bad, all things considered. So I'm assuming somebody's had the seat out before and has vacuumed it. But check it out, I did find a quarter, so that's cool. What does this say? Is that a Canadian? Might be a Canadian quarter. Check it out. I can't get a closer look at it. Yeah, I think it's a Canadian quarter or a dollar or whatever the Canadians use. So cool. So somebody at St. Therese, Quebec, probably one of the assembly guys, dropped their Canadian quarter or dollar or whatever that is in there. Of course, I am just joking, but yeah. So the seat's out. I'm going to vacuum this up, and then we're going to put the new seat in. Wish me luck, guys. So the Corbeau Forza Wide seat on a Wedge Engineering bracket with no sliders weighs 27 pounds. Let's see how much the stock seat weighs. I think it's going to be a little more because it was heavier pulling it out. This is a base model Firebird seat with, does have a power adjustment there. So we're going to see how heavy this one is. So the stock seat with the bracket and everything still attached weighs 40.2 pounds. So it's a good 13 pounds lost. Not as much as I was hoping for.
Not that, I mean, I was doing this whole project so I could fit in the car with a helmet. I didn't really care about weight reduction, but thought weight reduction might have been kind of neat. But let's be honest here, I could stand to do a little weight reduction on myself. So let's, I got the floor vacuumed and everything. So let's get the new seat in there and see if it fits. And if it doesn't, I'm just gonna cry. In typical Captain ThirdGen fashion, I put the bracket on the seat backwards because I put the seat in the car and I started lining up the holes, and it put the seat like basically touching the steering wheel. I was like, hang on a second, something ain't right here. So yeah, I think I just gotta flip it 180 degrees, so no big deal. Well, I took the bracket back off the seat, and now I'm kind of testing it here. It looks like that's correct, I think. So yeah, I mean, I think that's right. So we're gonna try bolting it in there like that. All right, guys, the seat is in the car. Just a little tip for everybody else who may be trying something similar. That's where the mounting bolt is with the wedge bracket. It's extremely difficult to get to. One of the passenger sides is just as bad, so the front two are fine. But so you definitely want to put the bracket on first and then put the seat on top of it. The reason that I didn't do that is because I lost my my Allen key set. So all that I have to put the Corbeau seat bolts on is this this inverted hex head socket thing here. So that's why I didn't do it that way. That's why I had to do it the hard way there and put the seat on the bracket outside of the car and then the bracket into the car like this. But that's how it sits. When I ordered this whole thing, I was kind of under the impression that it had like a couple adjustment holes that you could put in terms of like how far you want the seat back. There's not. There's only one option. So I'm kind of nervous because it looks a little close to the wheel. So we'll see if I fit. But I'm gonna hope for the best here. Hope for the best. So let's lower the car, and I'm gonna try to get inside of it. All right, fellas. Long story short. It's actually worse than before. I can't really get into my car. I don't fit in it anymore. My knees are up against the dashboard here. I cannot operate the pedals. Even without a helmet, my head is touching the ceiling. And there goes, what, 500 bucks? 440, I guess. So that's kind of a bro moment. Not overly happy at the moment here. The sad part is I don't even know if moving it back would help me. Alright, fellas, so it is now a few weeks after I started this project, but the seat is in the car, and now you can see that it is a more appropriate distance away from the steering wheel. Now I'll roll a picture here of the bracket and how I ended up modifying it. It's kind of tricky to see with the seat bolted in there, but essentially all I did was I got a piece of basic steel, I believe it was 3/16 inch thick from Home Depot, and I cut it in half and basically just bolted extensions onto the Wedge Engineering bracket. And I measured the seat out, you know, where I wanted it to be and whatnot, and I determined that roughly 3.5 inches further back from the basic Wedge Engineering mounting point was where I wanted to be. And so I put the steel on there, bolted it down, drilled holes 3.5 inches further back, and it seems to be working pretty good so far. I drove the car about 15 miles with this setup, and it seems to be working. I can reach the pedals. I'm not too cramped. I can fit in the car normally, and then when I remove the lower cushion, I can fit with my helmet. So all that's going pretty good. I'll do a demonstration here in a minute. But the seatbelt, obviously when you take the stock seat out, you lose the seatbelt guide. So here's the stock seat, and it has this little guide that bolts on here that the seatbelt goes through, and that just prevents the seatbelt from wrapping around your neck. Obviously, when you get to the aftermarket seat, you don't have that capability anymore. Because here's the seatbelt guide, the stock one. So it's supposed to go like right there, but you know, aftermarket universal seat does not have that kind of capability. So I got this thing off eBay, and it basically just clamps onto here, and it has a little guide thing. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll try it out. It is kind of annoying with the seatbelt around my neck, but since I'm taller, it's not really that big of a deal. But with the helmet on, it's not really a problem at all, but just driving on the street, it is kind of annoying. So hopefully my little eBay seatbelt guide clamp thing works out for me. But I'll get in the car here and I'll kind of demonstrate what's happening. It is significantly more difficult to get in and out of the car, really just due to this here. It does make it more difficult. So if you're an older person, definitely going to want to get a reclinable seat. A fixed seat's probably not for you. It's honestly probably not for me. It was just what I could afford at the time. But it's not, once you're in there, it's really not uncomfortable. But I'll climb in here now and we'll talk about that further.
So as you can see, it's not the most graceful transition there. Allergy season. But you know, once I'm in here, I am pretty comfortable. Now I do have the cushion in right now, and you can tell I'm quite close to the ceiling. But I can see everything. I can see the mirrors. I can see you know, gauges and everything. So nothing's really a problem. And the seat is quite supportive. It, you know, holds you in tight, but it's not uncomfortable. And just riding it around town here for about 15 miles, I didn't think it was unreasonably harsh or anything. So I think I'm going to drive it about an hour to work tomorrow, and then, you know, an hour and a half home. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe my back will be killing me at the end of the day, but after 15 miles, it wasn't a problem. But I can reach all the pedals. I think I got good form here on the steering wheel. I can reach the shifter and radio and HVAC, all that just fine. So I think we're okay. I'll put the seatbelt on. It's kind of back there a little bit. There we go. Put the seatbelt on. So that's good. You know, it is around just the edge of my neck. It isn't terrible though. It's not like it's like, you know, this or something. But it does kind of irritate me a little bit. So hopefully my little seatbelt guide thing from eBay works out. But the seat is in the car. It's nice and sturdy. Holds me in tight. I fit. I can get in and out. I can reach all the pedals. The metal from Home Depot, it was a 4-foot bar. It cost me 13 bucks. So not too bad. Now Wedge Engineering does offer sliders that just come with the bracket for another, I believe, 90 bucks. So not a bad deal at all for the sliding capability. The only problem is that adds an inch of height. And as you can see here, I don't have an inch of height to spare. So I had to do something like this to maximize all the height that I can get. So I'll climb out now and I'll pull the cushion out, and then I'll put the old helmet on, and I'll show you guys how that goes. Really got to be careful getting in and out of the car with the helmet on here. Oh, I forgot to take the cushion out. Let me pull that out real quick. There we go. All right. Now we're nice and low here. And as you can see, I fit. Barely, but I fit. I fit, I can drive, all is well. So now, take this off so you can hear me better. Not that you really want to, but yeah, so as you can see, getting in and out, a lot more of a chore. Now keep in mind, I am a heavier set individual, so if you're skinnier than me, chances are you're not going to have nearly as much of a problem. But knowing what I know now, I would definitely try to opt for the reclinable seats. I think that's well worth it. But for the money, I don't think this is bad. It is quite comfortable. And what surprised me is even without the cushion, the seat's still quite comfortable, which is kind of surprising. You take the cushion out and it's still pretty good. I will say that the removable cushion is the only reason that this whole setup works. Because if you saw when I got in with the helmet with the cushion still in, it's not, I don't fit. My head's up tight against the ceiling. But with the cushion out, I have quite a bit of room here, and with the helmet, I can make it work. Now, obviously, if you slouch a little bit, you get a little better, but with the seat, the way it's designed, you can't really slouch very much. It doesn't have a whole lot of room for wiggle there. But that's kind of the whole point of it, right? The whole GN Snug. But that's how the project went. Seems like a success so far. You know, like I said, I put 15 miles on it, and it seems to be okay. I'll take it to work tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's how I put a racing seat in my 4th Gen Firebird. This is a Corbeau Forza fixed back racing seat. It's the wide version, and it does fit. It fit no problem. I was worried about that. I was worried that the wide version would, you know, I wouldn't be able to close the door. It would smash up against the console or something, but it fits, you know, it fits real snug, but it does fit. So that's definitely a win. But yeah, so any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck to you if you're trying to put a racing seat in your F-body. It's kind of a project. Hopefully this video helps you. Would have helped me. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.